Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time Car Show that airs live every Saturday, 9:30 a.m. to noon Central.
It's always off to a great rolling start, don't you think? From Studio A in Texas, USA, it's the award-winning all things automotive car talk show, In Wheel Time. Just ahead, a review of our new car of the week, the 2021 Jeep Cherokee. We'll also have This Week in Auto History, the cruise-in calendar, and stories making automotive news headlines this week. That and more just ahead on today's In Wheel Time Car Show for Saturday, January 30th, 2021. Howdy. Along with Mike out of this world Mars, King Conrad DeLong, sitting over in the corner where he belongs is Jeffrey Zekin. Don Armstrong here. Glad that you could join us on this Saturday here coming to you live. We call it Houston, Texas, but it's actually in Sugar Land, Texas. That's why we were talking about Sugar Land before we officially went on the air this morning. So just wanted to clarify all of that. It's kind of like saying NHRA coming to you from the Spring Nationals in Houston, Texas. Well, that's partly true. It's in Baytown.
Is it actually Baytown? I thought it was a little bit east of Baytown.
Like no, it's
Highlands.
It's kind of in between Baytown and Cove.
Okay. It's somewhere out there.
That way.
That way. Yeah, that's it. They call it officially Baytown.
Towards Neederville.
It's going that way, but it's still a long ways from Neederville.
Yes, it is.
They built a highway out there to it.
They did.
From Neederville.
Yeah,
it's called Interstate 10.
It's also called the evacuation route.
Oh, I was thinking of 99. They just built that one little section of 99 that comes south from I-10, basically a little bit past the track. I always thought it was because the track was there.
No.
It goes beyond that now.
Actually, they're finishing it. I flew over it the other day, not too long ago, and man, they are kicking some major butt on that thing.
On the northeast part of it?
Actually, it would be on the southeast. It's going to hook up with 146.
Okay.
Way over there.
Yeah, well, you're the only one up there in the flying over stuff. We're all just down here on the ground. What's going on that section of it out there by north of Kingwood?
That's what I'm talking about. All of that's being done all the way down there on the other side of town. So, in other words, if you go 99, the Grand Parkway, out there off of I-10, the Baytown East Freeway, like you're going to go to Neederville, you go south, that's all of that stuff. There's a section of it that they've already completed now. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, they're working on all of that, south of there and north of there.
So they'll not have that done before they tear up downtown. Welcome to Houston.
Oh, no, they're already tearing up downtown when I came through there this morning.
What do you mean tearing it up? They're always...
I've been here since 87, and all these highways have been under construction since 87. I wish I had the concrete contract in Houston because it's a never-ending job.
It is.
Why? When you said something to I-10 to go to Nederland, why go to Nederland? I mean, that's...
because you have to stop and get gas on the way to New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
But there's no Buc-ee's out there.
No, there's not.
There's no reason to stop unless it's a Buc-ee's.
Plus, you have to go out of your way to get to Nederland.
Well, yeah, you do. It's way out of your way. It's like 8 miles off the freeway.
Again, why?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. No.
Because I'm there.
You are there.
No, you're here. You're in Sugar Land.
I think somebody's stealing the road.
I think that you guys are out of your minds. We're talking about all of this other stuff. This is a car show.
I know. Stabilization.
Well, we just want to make sure that the internet is up to speed for our raucous
4 minutes into the show
3-hour car show. Since we don't have a guest in this segment, Conrad and I decided that we're going to come up with some stuff of our own. Do you want to go?
Well, sure. Everybody always wonders what the most popular paint colors are for the year.
Who? Tell me those people.
I'm sure there's somebody out there.
The ones in Nederland.
The ones in Nederland. Well, there's something about the popularity of colors, and different colors kind of phase in and phase out. Back in the 90s, brown or that tan color really phased in and became quite popular.
Dad, why did you buy that color?
So what do you think the most popular color was in 2020 in the United States?
White.
White. And Europe, white. 30% in the United States, 38% in Europe, which kind of surprised me that it was that much more popular. Number 2 is solid black, both Europe and the United States at 19%. So
those two colors, I think, vary a little bit, but not by much.
No. But, 1 out of every 5 cars is black. I can't imagine. I know your Corvette's black. A black car in South Texas is just stress on the air conditioning system because it has to work that much harder all the time because it's endlessly absorbing.
And in a 2-passenger sports car with a cockpit is
and a glass roof.
And no, it doesn't have a glass. It's got one, but I don't use it.
You don't ever use it.
It's too hot.
Yeah, but I love the way a black car looks. I mean, it looks sleek. It looks elegant. I won't own one because it's too much work. I'll take the white car.
It is a lot of work.
Mine are white.
It is a lot of work.
I think that the color I like the most, and Angie had a, remember they had that metallic tan champagne color Suburban for a while? Loved it. That car looked clean for months. You didn't really ever have to wash it. You just kind of, waited for the rain to blow the dust off.
Back in the day, I'm thinking 1983, too, somewhere in there. I bought a used car from Fred Henson, good friend of mine. Used to own Henson Motors up in Madisonville. Mm-hmm. I bought a used car. He had a used car lot then. I bought a used car from him. A 1978 Cadillac Coupe de Ville.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I like
Champagne.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very popular color. That's what I was talking about at the opening of this is how different colors have phased in and out of the industry. And that color was extremely popular back 80s, early 90s.
And when that thing was washed up with those wire wheel covers on it, man, it looked like $1 million. Yep. You're rolling in, right off of Hollywood and Vine. Well, maybe not Hollywood and Vine. That's a pretty bad part of town. But at any rate.
So what do you think the third most popular color was?
Red.
Last year?
Actually, gray.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was going to say
gray, silver, that combation of grays and silver.
We still get a lot of gray cars in the press fleet.
And then the fourth was silver itself. So about 9% of the cars were silver. And then fifth was blue. Both Europe and the United States, and then red. And red is 7% in the United States and only 5% in Europe. So that's that's almost a 50% difference.
And all of those are Ferraris.
And the arrest record is high.
Yes, I always call them "pull me over red" when that bright red color seems to attract. And I think there's actually statistics that say that color vehicle gets the most tickets as well.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know if that's a fact or fiction, but I just made it up.
I think it is, but I think it's because of the kind of car that red goes on and the way you drive that kind of a car. It's like
you're speaking for yourself, Mars.
I'm just
Mr.
saying,
Tickets over here.
I'm just doing some research.
Yeah, you're doing your research. Personal research.
And then seventh most popular is the browns and beiges at 3% in both Europe and the United States. So when it was real popular, when you had it, and Angela had it, she had it on a Suburban, and then when you had it on your Cadillac, back then it was probably the third most popular color because, gosh, everything everybody made had some version of that color in it.
Yeah, my dad had a green Cadillac. I think it was a 67, and he also had a beige.
Did he have a pink Cadillac?
No, he did not. My mother had a white 60 Chevy.
With a 409?
It was a Malibu. No. And then he went into the Oldsmobiles. And
Smart guy into the Oldsmobiles.
Yeah, the Browns.
It is green 63
let me ask you
F85.
something. I want to go off track here just a little bit and ask you a question. What is the fascination about Oldsmobiles, other than the fact that you worked for the Oldsmobile division?
Before I worked for them, I owned 2 of them.
Okay.
So when I came to Oklahoma, my first car was a 68 Cutlass S, and I just loved it. I beat on it and probably didn't maintain it as well as I could, and that car never failed.
It's loyalty. It's loyalty.
When I think of Oldsmobile,
to a degree,
kind of put them in the same boat as Pontiac and Buick. Now, I may be wrong.
No, and that's probably a good...
Because those 3 were kind of in the near luxury category back in the day.
And that's when they were structured at General Motors. That was where they were put. Buick on the comfort side of the near luxury, Pontiac on the performance side, and then Oldsmobile on the innovative side, because Oldsmobiles are always a little bit more innovative than some of the other brands. So, and then I had my '69 442 back then as well, which was actually Sebring yellow, which is the same color as my '70 Rally is. But I had them. I loved them. They were just durable, dependable cars, and I beat on them endlessly.
Needless to say, knowing you, I can only imagine. It's kind of like Mars doing his on-ramp acceleration test and getting tickets.
I owned my cars.
I had a '63 Oldsmobile F85. Had the 215 aluminum V8 engine in it. Beat the heck out of that thing, and it never slowed down.
Do you know where that 215 aluminum engine went?
Well, it went with the car.
No, it went to Range Rover.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, did it? Yeah, GM sold that whole casting of that 215 aluminum V8 to Range Rover in Europe, and it was actually the same engine that came in a TR8. When the TR8 had the V8, that was a version of that 215.
Yeah.
And the early Range Rovers, it was a version of that.
Who would have ever thunk that? Why?
Well, because somebody wanted a V8 cheap,
and they wanted
GM
it
just
light.
sold them all the castings.
It was all aluminum.
But a 215?
Well, that's, back then, that was, engines were much
215,
smaller.
265, 283. I mean, it's in that same family.
Well, you got to remember, back in '62 and '63, Oldsmobile put an alcohol-injected turbocharger on one of those. They actually had a turbo called the Jetfire, and it had alcohol injection on it. Now, I call it alcohol injection.
We're going to have that tonight.
It was
It's going to be alcohol injected tonight.
It was actually almost windshield washer solvent that was injected into the engine to cool it.
Through the cooling channels, not necessarily the combustion.
into the combustion chamber.
Wow.
So it was like adding ethanol to it.
Yeah.
It was actually isopropyl.
So that was the first.
Our answer to that was we took the windshield washer deal and we took the tube instead of going to the white and put it into the top of the carburetor.
Spray it.
And sit there and pump on it when you need a little extra.
So that was the first invention of nitrous then.
Not quite.
Sort of, kind of.
Not quite.
Not necessarily gas, but
that was the intent, was trying to cool the engine. with
You know,
the
it's
alcohol
funny you
injection.
should say that. I vaguely remember something about when you wanted to have the windshield washers working, you pumped it.
Yes. Yeah.
Before there was an electric thing on the
electric
actual
motor,
wipers.
you had to pump it. Pump it to get it to going.
Oh, that was before my time.
Yeah. And then you could always take that tube and run it back and put it down on the rear tires.
And then if you
could
did it right,
smoke
you would
the
have
tires.
you would have a little offshoot out there, and you'd turn the little knob and have injection right into your mouth in there for the real alcohol.
Oh,
Like I
gosh.
said tonight.
So the 8th most popular color in the United States was green.
Think about that.
I am thinking about
Yeah,
that.
that's a bad thing.
You know,
Doesn't mix with
but
driving.
wait just a minute. Let's take that one step further, shall we?
Oh gosh,
So I'm thinking, okay, so if you had alcohol,
it's a Shark Tank moment.
it is a Shark Tank moment. So if you had the alcohol up there in the windshield washer fluid, you wouldn't have alcohol in the car, so to speak, because the container would be up there.
Technically, you wouldn't have an open container. That's
Right, there would
correct.
be no open container. So then the question is, what kind of alcohol would you have in there? Like Everclear? Would you have a bottle of Everclear? Come on, Conrad. This
Texas
is right
blend.
up your alley.
Texas
you act
blend.
so straight and I know
No,
him.
me, it would be tequila.
Yeah.
Would it be tequila?
Oh, absolutely.
Tequila's too expensive back then.
I was a tequila drinker.
Still am.
Used to drink Cuervo Gold tall on the rocks.
Well, you wouldn't want to have colored liquor in there. You want to have it clear.
Well,
Why?
I didn't like Everclear.
No, clear liquor.
I know, but I never.
Like a vodka
You
or
said
something.
Everclear. I never liked Everclear.
Did I ever tell you my story about me and Everclear? I was working.
Sounds like a country song, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't
Me
it?
and Everclear.
Me and Everclear. So I was working at Richardson Chevrolet as a guy who was working in new car make ready.
All of these alcohol stories start at Richardson Chevrolet. What's going on with that?
And a car.
And a car.
And a car. And so he says, hey, man, you want to go to Paul Berlin's Dome Shadows Club? They're having a dance night. I said,
I've been there.
sure.
With
let's go
Don?
there.
Not with Don.
You
But
might
I
have-
was
You
there.
might have been there with
Let's
Don.
go there. Buffalo Speedway and South Main Street. I said, sure, let's go. First lighted dance floor in Houston, by the way. So we went there, but the problem was that we got there at 6 o'clock. There was nobody there. And back then, you
Probably had a
could
10 o'clock curfew.
you couldn't buy liquor by the drink. You had to take the bottle in.
BYOB.
And I wasn't I old enough? I don't think I was old enough, but he was. So he went and bought some Everclear. I didn't know what Everclear was. I had no clue.
It's like 180 proof.
Uh-huh.
And then they danced together.
I found that out afterwards. So we sat there, and I said, well, what are we going to we just order up some Cokes or whatever and drink it like that? Okay. So there by ourselves. Two guys.
Dancing
In a bar with a lighted dance floor, listening to all the good rock and roll music. By themselves. And
At 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
you know, the neck on one of those bottles is about that big. I had about that much. He had to carry me out of there.
Went to wipe something off your shoulder, and it was the floor.
Oh, my God. That was, yes, I wound up having to spend the night on his couch because I couldn't move. I mean, I was absolutely wasted. Of course, I'd had nothing to eat. And what did I found out a lot that night about Everclear.
Didn't remember any of it, but you found out a lot.
Uh-huh, I did.
Wow.
Anyway, are we going to go back to the colors now, or you want to stay on alcohol?
So green is 1% of the market in the United States.
Green.
Yellow in the United States is less than 1%.
Kathy had a green car. She had an Achieva.
Oh
She
my
hated
gosh.
that car.
Yes.
She hated it.
I can understand why.
Wait a minute, was that an Oldsmobile?
Yes, it was.
Don't ever bring that up in front of my wife. She will say bad words.
See, and Pontiac could sell Grand Ams till the cows came home, and the Oldsmobile Achieva was basically the same car, but whoever styled the Oldsmobile Achieva, it had to be
The same guy that did the Aztec?
Jose Feliciano must have styled the Achieva. 'Cause
Jose.
It had some of the
Feliciano.
oddest lines in it. It was what a mess that car was. But yeah, Pontiac was selling 250,000 Grand Ams at the time, and Oldsmobile couldn't give away an Achieva.
She will say bad words.
It was not a pretty car. There was just odd. It was just an oddly designed car. But anyhow, and then
Jose.
But in Europe, 2% of the vehicles are yellow. So, you know, that was really the only big differences in as far as placement of colors. So it seems like Europe does more yellow cars than the United States does. But who sells yellow cars in the United States?
Taxi cabs.
Who buys them?
Right.
But the taxi
You
cabs
do.
in Europe are black, aren't they?
In
England.
Great Britain.
Yeah, Great Britain.
And they tend to be all that same British cab looking thing as
Yeah.
well. As opposed to here, where now I guess
What? Explain that to me. What is up with those British cabs?
Oh, I think that company, that's all they make, you know, is they just make that cab. And that's, you know, it's kind of like the United States with Checker. You know, the Checker cab, and it still has a following, and you can still find some of them driving around New York City.
And
a
you can
Rambler.
still find some of them for sale, and they're very expensive if you can find one that's been restored.
Was it a Rambler?
No.
No, it was Checker.
Checker?
And
It's
then
actually a company.
It was a company that made purely a cab. They're
called commercial vehicles.
Right. I don't know that they made them for public consumption, but they made them like airport limos and cabs and stuff. And there was a period of time through the 60s, 70s that it was GM powertrain. So it had a GM small block Chevy and a General Motors hydromatic
Did not know
transmission in it.
Neat.
Emmons Brothers joined us. Morning, boys.
Oh, the Emmons brothers.
Good morning.
The guys that have all of the Wallies going back behind their head.
The moving wall.
Gents, it's good to see you.
Wally Wall.
Wally Wall. That's it.
We need to rig something up behind you. We need to.
And we could
On a
put it
little
on
train track.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. But we'd have to get cars big enough to hold a Wally.
Well, I'm sure the Emmons Brothers used car operation down there in Friendswood probably have enough cars for people to
There you go.
select from.
Yeah. We have to get them on again. See
Yeah,
how
good
things
morning.
are going.
That was fun. See what their plan is for 2021. I had seen. I guess Erica was running a survey on what she wanted her driving suit to look like. She had a couple of them up there.
There's a choice.
Yeah, she had a choice. I don't, you have to be a stylist to figure something out. But so everybody's got.
Listen, that's right up my alley.
Ray.
Hey,
You ought to go on as Ray and give her an opinion.
listen, I like that. I like that one.
But it's got to freak all the NHRA folks out because the first race of the season is, I think it's March 14th, the Gator Nationals in Florida, and they're not starting the season out in California because California kind of.
I'll be
still
honest
shut
with
down.
you. I'll be honest with you. I love Pomona. One of my favorite racetracks. It's old school. That's where it all started, Pomona. Have you ever been there?
Never been.
The L.A. County
Well, I've been
Fairgrounds.
to Pomona, but I've never been to the track.
Well, it's just right over the hill.
Right.
And at the top of the hill is the Pomona Mining Company. And I got a story to tell about that, too. Pomona Mining Company, great big, spread out kind of steak place, a club, a dance floor, all that stuff. Anyway. But, yeah.
There's a theme to the show, Don and dance floors and being overserved alcohol.
And getting out there and make a total fool of myself.
When he worked at Richardson Chevrolet.
No, this is probably when he was doing the NHRA.
In his red pumps.
Oh, yes. Ask Rob Geiger about the Safeway.
Oh, gosh.
You can only imagine.
That sounds like a country song, too.
He ran out of the Safeway because of something that I did in there.
Okay. What color's next?
Nothing, that's it. But
We're done with that?
yeah, and then what were the most popular cars in 2020? Starting the top 20 from the bottom of the list. Subaru Outback wagon.
What?
It was
That's a Bernie Sanders vehicle.
Was the 20th most popular vehicle, and then the 19th was a Subaru Forester. 18th was Ford Escape. 17th was Honda Accord, which is way down from where it used to be. Honda Accord
near the top.
outside of trucks was generally.
Have you looked at one?
Yeah, gosh, they're huge compared to what they were.
They're not only huge, but there's like it's
got
like
that
1990s look to it still.
Yeah, it's got that big chrome tooth in front of it too, kind of like remember the Acras used to have that big chrome tooth. Yeah,
it's like finding a blue peanut on a wedding cake.
Number 16 was Jeep Wrangler.
Wait just a moment, I need to explore that. A blue peanut on a wedding cake.
Yeah, you don't see that.
No,
very often.
not very often. Okay.
No.
Is there a story behind that?
No, it's just.
Is there a Richardson
odd.
Chevrolet story behind it?
It could be
involving alcohol.
Back in the day when
on
I
the
worked
dance floor.
So 16th was Jeep Wrangler. 15th was Jeep Grand Cherokee. 14th, which really surprised me, was Toyota Highlander.
What?
Yeah, I did not realize they sold that many of those vehicles.
didn't either.
14th was
pretty
Toyota
popular.
Highlander. And then 13th was Toyota Corolla, which doesn't surprise me. 12th was Ford Explorer. But I have a feeling Ford Explorer, a lot of that's being driven by their fleet sales.
Yeah, but didn't you say 18th was the Escape? So we're getting into a little bit larger vehicle as we move up.
Correct. But the Explorer, they sell, and this would be included in these numbers, they sell a ton of those to fleet.
It's a good-looking vehicle.
Yeah.
I've seen them, yeah.
And it's a good size because it's more of a upper mid-size SUV. So and then Ford Explorer was 12th. Nissan Rogue was 11th, which doesn't surprise me because the Rogue is Nissan's #1 selling vehicle. Toyota Tacoma was number 10. GM Sierra was number 9.
By the way, the Toyota Tacoma is the #1 selling mid-size pickup truck. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
But there's only four or five mid-sized
Whatever,
pickup trucks.
it's still #1.
The two GMs, the Toyota and the Nissan. And
The
Ford
Jeep
Rangers are
and the Ranger.
Gladiator. Oh, I don't consider. I didn't remember
The
Gladiator.
Nissan Rogue was the vehicle that hit me in my first Cadillac that totaled it.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, he hit me, he rolled, and I got a new Cadillac out of it. Yeah. Nissan Rogue.
Congratulations.
It was his mother's car.
Great.
Was it really? Nice.
Number 8 was Honda Civic. Number 7, and this really surprised me, was Chevrolet Equinox. I didn't realize they sold those in that volume.
Fleet.
So no, not necessarily. 'Cause
Rental?
that's not really a fleet. Possibly rental. They sold 170,000.
Well, Fleet
Excuse
would
me,
also,
270,000 Nissan or Chevy Equinoxes in 20.
but Fleet would be the same as rental.
Right.
They lump it all together.
Gotcha.
But they sold 350,000 of them in 19. So the sales went down, but it still kept its position. And then, of course, number one. What's the #1 car in the industry right now?
Cadillac.
Toyota Camry. So Toyota Camry's been the top selling car for quite some time, and Camry and Accord used to bounce between the two of them.
Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. Accord's really fallen off. And then number 5 was Honda CRV at 333,000 vehicles in 2020. Toyota RAV4 at 430,000 vehicles. I didn't realize there was that big a disparity between the two of them. Number 3, our favorite, Ram pickup at 563,000, down from 633,000 last year.
That's the first mention of a Ram product, though.
Right.
In their whole list.
Well, yeah, but you had the 2 Jeeps earlier on.
Well, yeah, okay.
The FCAs. Number 2 was Chevy Silverado at 586,000, and they were the only one in the top 20, that and the GMC Sierra, that increased their sales. They were up 3% over last year. And then number 1, of course, and they've been number 1 for 42 years, and that's the Ford F-Series truck at 787,000, down 12% from 2019 at 900,000. So,
Interesting story.
well, there's cars in there I didn't think would have been. I never would have guessed.
They're not real flashy. You don't see a whole lot of them. I mean, you don't recognize a whole lot of them, I guess is what I should say.
I'd have never guessed there would have been 2 Subarus in the top 20.
No, I wouldn't either.
Never.
Well, they were in the low 20s, but still.
But still.
It's time now for this hour's car review here on the In Wheel Time Car Show. 21 Jeep Cherokee. It comes in several trim levels. The Latitude Plus, the Latitude Luxe, and the Trailhawk, along with the Limited. Plenty. Review trim level is the Latitude Luxe 4x4. Small SUV. 5 passengers. No real major changes to the exterior from last year. The features include that famous 7-slot grille. Cannot mistake it for anything else other than a Jeep. Many exterior features, bringing it close to the Grand Cherokee looks, as a matter of fact. Just thought I'd throw that in there in case you didn't notice the similarity. Dual exhaust tips, good-looking wheels. What I liked, you could kind of, cheat the neighbors and tell them that it's a Cherokee, and they'll think it's a Grand Cherokee. I mean, look at it. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, you put them side by side, and other than size, they look a lot alike.
Yeah. Interior highlights, sharp-looking integrated dash, Uconnect infotainment system, easy-to-use controls, nice materials throughout the cabin as well. Cargo trunk room, enough for golf clubs sideways, and some luggage back there, so it's more than you would actually think. What I liked, the attention to detail on the actual Jeep Cherokee. What could use improvement? Wish they'd use a rotary shift knob instead of the actual handle. I mean, I've gotten used to that on many of the upper levels. Now you look at it and you go, man, what are they taking up all that space for?
And it does take up a lot of space.
Engine is a 3.2-liter V6, 271 horsepower. Torque is 239 pound-feet. Transmission, 9-speed automatic, and it can tow up to 1 ton. 2,000 pounds. Miles per gallon rated in the city, 19, on the highway, 27, for a combined of 22. I got 26.9 miles per gallon over 381.3. Now, 90% of my travels are on the tollway. So, there. What I liked about it, got that smooth V6 power. What could use improvement? Nothing. They do offer a turbo 4-cylinder if you're interested in that sort of thing. What I liked about it, with the 4x4, it's got a pretty smooth ride. Normally on a 4x4, you can actually feel the difference in the suspension, but not in this one. Base trim price $31,625. Price is tested $36,355. The base model price is $28,180. It competes against the Honda CR-V for $25,350, the Mazda CX-5 for $25,270, and the Subaru Forester for $26,438, the most expensive of them all.
Yeah, it's still right there playing in the market.
Absolutely. Yeah. So,
depending on the content you want to put on it, whatever drives the price up. But
as always, shop, drive several vehicle models and brands, and compare.
But can you still do that? Because there's a lot of the internet purchases, and the advertising now is do it online.
I know that a lot of people are into that. Oh, I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I'll look at it, and then I don't want to go into the dealership. Okay, well. You've got the choice now. Well, lots of choices.
And a lot of them will, even the dealerships will bring the car to you and let you test drive it. I think the test drive gets, a little COVID sensitive now.
Well,
everybody gets a little freaked out about it.
That is right, the COVID sensitivity, but you can also, there's prevention with the masks and the shields and the gloves and all that good. I would rather do that. I would rather sit it, drive it.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine buying a car without getting behind the wheel and
Not me, but there's
and
people that
driving
do that.
all the time.
And then if they deliver it to your house, you're kind of obligated to keep it.
Well, yeah, but some of them, they give you a money-back guarantee. Some of those, you see them advertised on TV. But, it's not a money-back guarantee.
No.
They
It's a
let
credit.
you return it to buy something else out of their
So
inventory.
the lady across the street did that. She bought one. She called the dealership, said, "This is what I want." They delivered it, picked up her trade-in, and she never went and drove it. She just called and said, "This is what I want."
I guess there are a lot more people in the world that drive by like that than I ever knew. Because
Not me.
I was always taught, go in there, drive it, look it over, make sure that that's what you want. And
Kick the tires.
That's right.
do all that. Hey, the In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, Pandora, Amazon, and Podcast Addict. And the In Wheel Time Car Show continues right after this quick break.
Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, February 20th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone's invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all at one location. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupi founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, February 20th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Lupi's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise in, February 20th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupi's in Katy, weather permitting. Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? Well, you found it. You're listening or watching In Wheel Time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In Wheel Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Zekin. His address is jeff@inwheeltime.com. Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild-to-wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday, 9:30 a.m. to noon Central on Facebook, YouTube, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.